Hello, my name is Garrett, and I am one of the blog hosts that is hosting the Healthy Snack Food Competition that is sponsored by OXO. Now, everything that you're about to see in these pictures are items that you can win. There's only going to be one winner for this contest, and um, the winner will get everything that's in the very first picture. Um, there's a link at the bottom of this video, so make sure that you click that link and you go to the blog and you read the rules. Now there are two other blogs. Their links will be posted on my blog that you'll have two other chances to win. So for my submission, I'm going to show you how to make peanut tarts. These are really simple. The total time to make them is about 20 minutes, and they're really healthy. Um, so what you're going to need three mixing bowls, a blender or a food processor, whichever you prefer, 1 pound of peanuts. Spanish peanuts work the best. They have the highest amount of oils. But I just used regular peanuts. They're a little bit cheaper. Not that peanuts are that expensive anyway, but regular peanuts are a little bit cheaper. Um, and then for this, I'm going to be using 1 apple and 1 banana. You will also need a sharp knife or a good slicer for your fruit, and a good peeler if you want to use veggies instead, which is what I'll be showing you at the very end. You're going to need a baking pan and a oven at 300 degrees. So let's get started. First, we will need to make a peanut powder. We do this by taking 1 cup at a time of our peanuts, and you put them in the blender. Um, you're just going to put the blenders in on liquefy, and you're going to do this for about 30 seconds, and then you're going to stop your blender, and you're going to stir it around with a spoon, and then you're going to start it again on liquefy, and after about a minute on liquefy, you should have a good peanut powder going. If you notice that there's still a lot of chunks of peanuts in there, instead of just a nice peanut powder, make sure that you stir it up a little bit more and continue to grind them up. Now you don't want to do it to the point where they're going to turn peanut butter. We're going to do some of that at the end here. So once you have a nice peanut powder going, you're going to empty that peanut powder into a bowl. You're going to shake the bowl a little bit, just look for really large chunks of peanuts. If you see any that are really big, go ahead and throw those back in the blender, but the actual peanut powder should be just fine at this point. And then you're going to do another cup of it, and you're just going to do the exact same thing. So now you have 2 cups of peanut powder when you're done with this step. The last of the peanuts should be about 1.5 cups if you're using a whole pound of peanuts. This 1.5 cups you're going to make into actual peanut butter. Now this is really easy if you've never made peanut butter before. You just throw it in the blender and you put it on shake, and after about 2 or 3 minutes it's going to turn into peanut butter. It's pretty cool. Again, about every 30 seconds to a minute at this point is when you're going to turn the blender off. Make sure you unplug it. Be really safe and smart about this. You're just going to stir it up with a spoon or something just to mix all the chunks of peanuts in there, so that way you don't get any big chunks left in your peanut butter. And when your blender's going for the 2 to 3 minutes, you can turn your oven on to 300 degrees if you haven't already. You're going to grab another large bowl, and then you're going to add, you're going to fill it about halfway with water. You're going to add about a tablespoon of salt. The salt is going to keep your apples from browning, which is really cool. You can also put lemon on your apples if you want a little bit more acidic taste to your lemon tart here at the end, which is pretty good. But for this, I'm just using apples, water, and salt. So you're going to grab your slicer or cut them up as however you want them. Make sure that if you put them in water, that you make the slices a little bit thick, because when you do put them in the water, your apples are going to break down a little bit. And also, make sure that you keep an eye on your peanut butter. Once it's creamy, you can go ahead and stop it. And if your peanut butter is creamy before you're done slicing your apple, just go ahead and take your peanut butter, add it to your peanut powder at this point, and then you can keep on slicing your apple. Once your apple's all the way sliced and in the water, you're going to take your peanut butter and peanut powder mixture, and you're just going to fold it over really nicely. It's going to give you sort of a dough consistency here, and that's really what you're looking for. If you feel that there's too much powder still left over, you can go ahead and make a little bit more peanut butter, or if you have any in your cupboards, you can go ahead and throw that in there too. Um, but with a pound of peanuts, you should be just fine here by making this. Um, Now at this point, you're going to take a ungreased cooking sheet, and you're just going to grab about golf ball sized um, bits of this peanut mixture, and you're just going to press it into patties. And once they're in patties, you're just going to lay them out on the ungreased cookie sheet. And mine fits about 6. Yours may fit a little bit more or less. Just make sure you fill it up with a little bit of space between each one. You know, about quarter of an inch or so. They don't expand at all, so you don't have to worry about them expanding and bleeding into each other. But once your pan is full, you can go ahead and throw it in the oven. The peanut tarts will bake for about 10 minutes. And while this is happening, you can go ahead and slice up your banana into small slices, or you can go ahead and clean your kitchen. I prefer to slice my banana and do the cleaning later. And then once your banana is sliced, you're just going to hold it to the side. And at the end of the 10 minutes, when you open your oven, you're going to get this really nice roasted peanut smell, which is what your tarts are going to taste like. It's really good. So go ahead and pull those out. And then you're going to go ahead and grab a spatula and just gently under one of the tarts, just start to pick it up a little bit. You're going to try to get the spatula all the way under there. But if it starts to crack, that's okay. Remove the spatula and go ahead and press it back together with a spatula. And then if you did have one that's cracked, go ahead and throw it back in the oven for about 5 minutes. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to get rid of a little bit more of that oil. So that way it's going to stick together a little bit better. But if you don't have any that are cracked, which is preferable, you're going to, again, gently take your spatula and put it under the tart. And you're going to place it on a plate. You're going to grab your apples and you're going to pat them down so that way with a towel. So that way they're not wet and soggy, because you don't want a really mushy texture on your apple tart here. And then you just go ahead and layer about 2 of those on your tart. My tarts are about palm sized, so my apple slices, I need about 2 of them to cover it. And then after your apple slices are on there, you can just go ahead and put your banana slices on there, and that's it. You're done with a fruit peanut tart. So they're pretty easy. These are great either hot or cold. It doesn't really matter if you serve them hot. That's the way I like them. My wife likes them cold. It's all just a matter of preference. But I am also going to tell you how to do the veggie tart. Now I like the veggie tart a little bit more than I like the fruit tarts. The reason being is because I like to use carrots on mine. And carrots have this great natural sweetness that balances out the hard, earthy peanut flavor. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to you just want to slice those up julienne style. Julienne style, they're really thin and they just break apart really easy in your mouth. It's the best way to have your carrots on these. And then you're just going to layer it on there however you see fit. And then I like to garnish mine with a little bit of dried cilantro. Just make it look sort of fancy, I guess. And that's it. A nice, simple, healthy little snack that only takes about 20 minutes to make. And, you know, anyone can do this. It's really easy. The mixture will make, for me, it made about 8 tarts. But you can make your tarts a little bit smaller. So that way you can get about 10 to 12 out of it, depending on the size of the tarts that you make. Again, as I had said, all the cooking supplies that I used in here and that were in that first picture, they were given to me from OXO for this contest, and they're all the things that you can win if you enter in this contest. So make sure that you go to the link at the bottom and you enter into the competition. There's going to be rules on my blog and the other blogs on what you actually need to do to enter and what's the qualifications to enter. But remember, this is a health food snack competition, so it needs to be a little bit healthy. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in the competition. Alright, well, thank you very much.